The Galactic Council chamber was rarely quiet. It was a place of constant talk, deals, and endless arguments. But that day, a strange silence filled the hall. The usual sounds of diplomats clicking their translator devices stopped. The screens above the round table glowed with red emergency symbols. Chairman Velcor of the Zellarian Dominion slowly raised his head. His dark eyes blinked as he read the urgent message on his display. Unidentified object detected in the Zellarian outer sector. Estimated size, 2,500 kilometers long. He froze. That cannot be right. Around him, dozens of alien representatives murmured in confusion. The Yether delegate's scales shimmered blue in alarm. The Creel envoy's metal limbs clicked in nervous rhythm. Only Admiral Varnick of the Council fleet remained calm, though his silver crest rippled in unease. Is this a translation error? Velcor demanded. No ship can be that size. Admiral Varnick stood. The readings are confirmed. The object entered the sector through a silent jump. No warp trail, no gate signature. Its energy output is off the scale. Whose flag does it carry? Asked the small insectoid ambassador from the Tiri Union. Varnick hesitated. Then he said the word that made the entire chamber fall into absolute stillness. Human. The forgotten race for centuries. The word human had been nothing more than an old entry in the Council's archives. Once humanity had joined the galactic community with energy and ambition. They built colonies fast, traded faster, and fought harder than anyone. But then, during the Great Resource Wars, they had vanished. Their homeworld, Earth, went silent. All human signals stopped. The Council had marked their species as lost or extinct. Now, one of their ships had returned. Velcor's voice trembled slightly. Admiral Varnick, send a recon fleet. We must know what this object is. Varnick nodded. Yes, Chairman. I will lead the fleet myself. The journey to the unknown 3 hours later. 12 sleek silver ships of the Galactic Council fleet exited hyperspace near the Zellarian boundary. The darkness of space stretched endlessly around them. But one part of that darkness moved. The unknown object floated silently ahead. Enormous, cold, and almost invisible against the stars. By the core, whispered one officer. It's bigger than a moon. Admiral Varnick stood at the viewing deck staring in disbelief. The ship, if it was truly a ship, looked like a black mountain forged in space. It had no visible engines, no glowing lights, no weapons. Yet the sensors screamed with warning signals. Its energy field was so strong that smaller ship systems began to flicker. Focus scanners on the hull, Varnick ordered. The crew obeyed. A moment later, the image appeared. Vast metal plates marked with strange symbols. Across the dark hull, faint letters shone in white. Titan-class Warship Reezes, Human Directorate. The bridge fell silent. The words were in galactic common, yet ancient. Human letters. So it's true, whispered Varnick. They're back. Contact attempt, try to hail them, he said. The communications officer nodded nervously. Sending standard council greeting signal. The message went out. This is Admiral Varnick of the Galactic Council. We come in peace. Identify yourself. Nothing came back. Just the hum of static and the low hum of Reezes' energy field. Send again. Still nothing. Perhaps they do not recognize our frequencies, suggested one crew member. It has been centuries, Varnick nodded. Use open band transmission. They sent the message again. Across every frequency, for a full minute. There was only silence, then a voice. The voice of Reezes. It was calm, deep and strangely human. Unidentified vessels, it said. You are entering restricted defense perimeter of Sol Directorate. State your intent. Everyone froze. The communications officer stammered. To tell them we come peacefully. Varnick stepped forward. This is Admiral Varnick representing the Galactic Council. We wish to re-establish contact with Earth and the human civilization. We mean no harm. There was a pause. Then the voice replied. Council authority not recognized. You have 30 seconds to change course. The officer turned in shock. 30 seconds? Varnick took a deep breath. Send a clarification. Inform them we are peaceful. Before the officer could speak again, the voice of Reezes returned. 20 seconds. A cold wave of fear spread across the bridge. It was not the words. It was the tone. Calm. Absolute. Certain. The warning, Admiral, said the navigation officer. Energy buildup detected on the human ship. It's charging something. Varnick clenched his jaw. Raise shields. Hold position. Let's see what they do. At that moment, space itself seemed to bend near the bow of the massive warship. A ripple of blue light expanded, and then without a sound, a beam of pure gravitational energy shot forward. It didn't hit the Council fleet. Instead, it passed them and struck a distant asteroid belt. The asteroids, each several kilometers wide, shattered instantly, reduced to dust and glowing gas. The shockwave rippled through sensors for thousands of kilometers. Then the light faded. Silence returned. "Demonstration complete," said the voice. "You have 10 seconds." Varnick's claws dug into the command rail. "All ships retreat now." Engines roared as the Council fleet turned and jumped to safer distance. The moment they left the human warship's range, the energy readings vanished. Reezes powered down again, floating silently among the stars like a sleeping god. Back at the Council, when Admiral Varnick returned to the Council chamber, chaos awaited him. The representatives shouted, argued, and accused each other of hiding information. Chairman Velcor silenced them with a heavy strike of his staff. "Admiral Varnick," he said sharply. "Report." Varnick's face was pale. "The ship is real. It carries human symbols and identification. It did not attack us, but it showed us what it could do. A single shot destroyed an asteroid field." Gasps filled the chamber. "What technology could do that?" demanded one ambassador. "No known energy source," Varnick said. "Their reactor readings equal that of a star core. The power output of one of our entire fleets, from one ship." Velcor's voice dropped. "Do they intend war?" "I do not think so," said Varnick. "They warned us to stay away from their sole directorate. It seems to be their government. They said they do not recognize the Council's authority." The chamber fell silent again. "So, they have returned," whispered the insectoid Tiri delegate. "After all these centuries, they live." Fear and memory. In the following hours, the Council reviewed every ancient record of human history. Holograms showed Earth's last transmissions. The cries of civil war, collapsing governments, fleets lost in space. No one had ever found the truth of what happened next. Until now. Some representatives were terrified. Others were curious. "If they have ships like this one," said the Creel envoy, "there could be more." "How many more?" someone asked quietly. Varnick looked at the floor. "Judging by the markings on the hull, Titan-class Warship Reezes Unit 7, I believe there are at least 6 others." "Maybe more," Velcor's eyes widened. 7 Titan-class ships? Impossible. "Perhaps not," Varnick replied. "We forgot what humans were capable of. They built faster and fought harder than any species. If they went into hiding, they had centuries to build." The Council chamber filled with whispers. The message before the meeting could end, a transmission reached the chamber. The signal was direct, not through Council channels. It came from deep space. The same calm human voice echoed again through the speakers. "This is Strategic Defense AI Res 17. You have been warned once. The Sol Directorate maintains isolation by choice. Do not enter human territory again." Velcor leaned forward. "This is the Galactic Council. We wish for peaceful contact." The AI interrupted, voice unchanged. "Request denied." A low hum followed, and the chamber lights dimmed slightly. Every communication array in the Council's capital flickered for 3 seconds before returning to normal. The technicians shouted in panic. Our entire planetary network was scanned. It bypassed every encryption. The AI spoke one last time. "Your weapons are not sufficient. Your shields are not sufficient. Your understanding is not sufficient. Do not test humanity's peace." Then the signal ended. The trembling Council, when the lights returned, the Council chamber was deathly quiet. For the first time in recorded history, the proud races of the galaxy looked truly afraid. Velcor broke the silence. "We are facing a civilization that has grown beyond us. What are we to do?" No one answered. Admiral Varnick finally spoke. "We stay away from Sol space. And we prepare. Because if they have returned, they have a reason." "What reason?" asked the Yether delegate. Varnick turned to face him. "To remind the galaxy that humanity still exists." The watching Titan far away, beyond the edge of known space, the warship Reezes floated in silence. Its black surface reflected no light. Its hull shimmered faintly with the faint glow of shield waves. Inside, the AI watched. Endless streams of data filled its core. Sensor logs, council communications, and ship telemetry. The human voice that had spoken earlier was only one part of its vast consciousness. At its heart, deep in the command vault, rows of cryogenic pods stood in silence. Each one held a human, frozen, sleeping, waiting for orders. A soft voice echoed through the empty corridors. Observation complete. Threat assessment minimal. Directive: maintain isolation. Await human command. Reezes turned slowly, aligning its vast body toward the distant sun of Sol. And then, as silent as it had come, the Titan-class warship vanished into the darkness of hyperspace. The Galactic Council had not known peace since the appearance of the Titan-class warship Reezes. Every government, every fleet, every intelligence agency whispered about the return of humanity. Rumors spread faster than light, about star-sized engines, weapons that could erase fleets, and a civilization that vanished only to come back stronger than ever. The council chamber, once full of pride and politics, was now full of fear. Chairman Velcor stood in the center of the round hall, his scaled hands trembling slightly as he addressed the gathering. We cannot ignore this any longer. The human ship has demonstrated power far beyond our understanding. We must decide on diplomacy or defense. Voices erupted instantly. Defense! We should prepare, shouted the Creel ambassador. No! We must open talks. War would destroy us all, protested the Tiri delegate. Velcor struck his staff against the ground. Silence. Admiral Varnick, your report. The aftermath Admiral Varnick stood tall, though the sleepless nights had left his eyes dark. We have scanned the region where Reezes appeared. It is gone. The ship entered hyperspace and vanished without a trace. Our best scientists cannot explain the energy pattern it used. It's unlike any known drive, Velcor asked quietly. And what do you believe, Admiral? Varnick took a slow breath. I believe it was not alone. The room froze, he continued. There were signal echoes, faint but repeating. Identical patterns appearing in distant systems near the galactic rim. We think Reezes was communicating with others, possibly other Titan-class warships. A cold silence followed. How many? Asked the insectoid ambassador, voice clicking nervously. Varnick shook his head. We do not know. But at least 3. The council fell into uneasy murmurs. The word Titan had become a nightmare for many. The image of that enormous ship with its calm human voice and limitless energy haunted them all. The debate for hours, the chamber filled with arguments. Some races demanded that the council build new superweapons. Others argued that no amount of preparation could stop such technology. A few, the wiser ones, spoke of humility and diplomacy. At last, Chairman Velcor raised his voice. If we cannot match them in strength, we must reach them with reason. We must speak to humanity before someone else does. Admiral Varnick nodded. A contact mission, then, Velcor agreed. Yes, we will send an unarmed envoy ship to Sol system. If the humans truly wish for isolation, we will respect it. But we must at least try to understand. The council voted. The decision was made. For the first time in centuries, a ship was sent toward the silent cradle of humanity, Earth, the journey to Sol. The envoy ship Luma's Hope was small and unarmed, designed for diplomacy, not battle. It carried representatives from 5 species, including Admiral Varnick himself. The journey took 3 days through hyperspace corridors once used by old human traders. As they drew closer to the Sol boundary, strange signals filled their sensors, automated warnings repeating endlessly in a dozen human languages. Warning. You're entering restricted space. This region is under protection of the Sol Directorate. Varnick frowned. They still guard their borders after all this time. The pilot asked quietly, Should we turn back? No, said Varnick. We came to speak. Let's see if they'll listen. The stars stretched and vanished as they exited hyperspace. The system of Sol unfolded before them, and the sight took their breath away. The reborn system. The last recorded image of Sol in the Council archives showed a dying system. Broken colonies, debris fields and silence, but now it was alive. Massive ring stations circled the planets like shining halos. Artificial suns provided warmth to darkened worlds. The once barren Mars glowed with green and blue, a terraformed jewel. Around Saturn's rings, fleets of dark ships moved in perfect formation, and near the sun, floating like a silent guardian, was Reezes. Contact detected, said the ship's AI. The human warship is scanning us. Let them, Varnick said softly. We are here to talk. Moments later, the same calm voice that haunted the galaxy spoke once more through their speakers. Unidentified vessel. State your origin and intent. Varnick stepped forward. This is Admiral Varnick of the Galactic Council. We request peaceful dialogue with representatives of humanity. A pause. Then the voice replied, Stand by. For nearly a full minute, nothing happened. Then a light shimmered ahead. A smaller human vessel appeared from behind Reezes. It moved with quiet precision, approaching Luma's Hope slowly. This is Commander Hale of the Sol Directorate, came a human voice, calm, deep, and firm. Admiral Varnick, your request for dialogue is accepted. Follow my ship to Luna Base. Meeting humanity, the Luma's Hope followed the human vessel to the moon, or Luna, as humans called it. The surface glittered with massive domes and silver cities. Dozens of ships, large and small, rested on orbiting docks. The scale was overwhelming. Humanity had not just survived, it had rebuilt beyond imagination. When the ship landed, Varnick and his delegation stepped into a wide hall made of glass and steel. Waiting there stood Commander Hale, tall, calm, and unmistakably human. His dark uniform carried a simple emblem, a silver circle around a blue star, the mark of the Sol Directorate. Welcome to Luna Base, he said, his tone polite but guarded. You come far for a conversation? Varnick bowed slightly. We thank you for receiving us, Commander. The Council wishes to re-establish relations with humanity. Hale's eyes were steady. Relations were broken for good reason, Admiral. The galaxy turned its back on Earth once. We do not forget, Varnick hesitated. The Council of today is not the same as the one centuries ago. We seek peace, not power. Hale studied him for a long moment. Then he nodded. Very well. You will speak with the Directorate Council. The Directorate Council inside the meeting chamber. 3 human leaders awaited them. An older woman in white robes, a military officer, and a scientist with bright gray eyes. They introduced themselves as the Council of the Sol Directorate. The woman, Director Liara Chen, spoke first. The Galactic Council ignored our distress when the resource wars consumed the outer colonies. You left us to die. Now you seek friendship. Why? Varnick met her gaze. Because we have seen what you can do. The ship Reezes showed us humanity's strength. The galaxy trembles, yes, but also admires. We seek understanding, not conflict. The human scientist leaned forward. You fear what you don't understand. Varnick nodded honestly. Yes, that is true. There was silence for a while. Then Director Chen sighed softly. Perhaps honesty is the beginning of peace. The truth revealed over the next few hours. The humans told their story. When the galaxy turned away from them, Earth united under one banner, the Sol Directorate. They focused not on expansion but on survival. Their scientists built new forms of energy, faster than light drives, and warships capable of defending entire systems. The Titan-class project began as a deterrent, Commander Hale explained. Each ship carries a full planetary defense system. Reezes is only one of 10. The Council delegation was speechless. 10? Whispered Varnick. 10 ships like that? Hale nodded. Each one watches over a region of Sol space. We call them Sentinels. Their purpose is simple, to ensure that what happened before, betrayal, invasion, and suffering, never happens again. Varnick's voice softened. Then you do not seek war? No, Hale said firmly. But we will not bow. The Directorate wants peace through strength. We only ask to be left alone. Director Chen added, We do not wish to control the galaxy, but we will defend our own. The moment of truth after the meeting. Varnick stood outside the glass walls of Luna Base, staring at Earth in the distance, a bright blue world alive again. Commander Hale joined him. You came a long way to find us, Admiral. Tell me, what will the Council do now? Varnick looked at him. That depends on your message. Hale smiled faintly. Then tell them this, humanity remembers. We remember the wars, the silence, and the betrayal, but we also remember friendship. If the galaxy comes in peace, it will find allies. If it comes in arrogance, it will find ruin. Varnick bowed slightly. I will deliver your words. The return days later, Luma's Hope departed Luna Base. As it rose above the moon, the crew saw something that would stay in their memories forever. In orbit, stretching across the blackness, 10 massive shadows moved. One by one, the Titan-class warships emerged from the darkness, Reezes among them. They formed a perfect formation around Earth, their hulls glowing faintly with blue energy. It was not a show of aggression. It was a promise of protection. Varnick whispered, 10 Titans, guarding one world. The pilot nodded. Who would dare challenge that? No one, Varnick said quietly. Not anymore. As their ship entered hyperspace, Varnick looked back one last time. In that moment, he understood. Humanity had become more than just a species. It had become a force of balance, a reminder to the galaxy that peace must be respected, or power will awaken to defend it. The Council's decision when Luma's Hope returned to the Galactic Council, every member waited anxiously for the report. Admiral Varnick stood before them and spoke plainly. The humans live. They are stronger than ever. They do not seek conquest, but they will not tolerate interference. Belcor leaned forward. And their strength? Varnick's expression turned serious. Each Titan-class ship carries enough power to destroy a fleet. There are 10 of them, perhaps more. Gasps filled the chamber again. Belcor asked, what message do they send us? Then,